Hey, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I am enjoying summer. Just got back from vacation and
I
um
know.
just yeah, now I'm like, can we have another?
I know. You can come with me. I'm leaving tomorrow. You can hop in with me and
See,
go to Florida.
nobody would care if I just left my kids, right?
Yeah, they'll be fine. They're old enough now.
Yeah, sure. 9 and 11, basically adults.
Yeah, pretty much.
Um, so I thought that maybe today we could talk a little bit about how some of our direct consulting services that we've been doing um, are really evolving and changing
hmm
into program evaluations and just, you know, what that looks like and how people are coming to us with this need.
hmm
So I thought,
It's
maybe we could just start there. Like,
yeah, like it's been really interesting how all this has evolved. Like we've started off kind of being more of a company who we thought were doing more training and workshops. And it's interesting, the last several companies that have come to us, it's like you said, it's turned into this program evaluation where it's really digging into what's going on. And
mhm,
so I think about like the last organization that came to us came with, kind of a specific problem. So their
mhm.
specific problem was, we have this huge wait list. We don't know what to do.
Which was funny because they came to us because they watched a between sessions about waiting lists,
I know.
you
It's
know?
crazy.
So it's
Yeah.
just weird. Yeah.
And so they came to us with that. And then, but once we started digging into it, we were kind of like, well, there's more to wait lists than just here's your process. And
Hmm.
so that kind of got us going down. Well, really, it sounds like a more of a program evaluation is needed.
Yeah.
And
So maybe we should real quick, like, can you say what is a program evaluation?
it is, I can use all my technical terms.
Good. Yeah. Open that textbook up.
Open
Open
my
that textbook.
textbook. It so it it's highly recommended by the CDC, and that's the guidelines that we use for a program evaluation. And it's like a systematic way of collecting, analyzing, and using information to answer questions about programs, and to look at either their
So
effectiveness,
a
their
program here.
efficiency. The program might be like, in this situation, the program might be outpatient therapy.
Okay.
And so, our the through the program evaluation, we really get to understand their organization, and we then look at, what is it, how can we help them get to their goals and improve their efficiency, their effectiveness, or whatever it is that are goals to them, what they want their outcomes to be for their organization. um and kind of
And
the
so
yeah, go ahead, Kelly.
with that, we're like you said, we're using the CDC guidelines
Uh-huh.
for program evaluation for why you do it, what your whole goal is, and 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 the steps. And there's
Mhm.
very specific steps to doing this and to doing it right. And like you and I are always telling everybody when we're doing these, like, we're learning as much or more as the team that's involved by going through
Yeah.
these steps. So can you explain the steps a little bit of a
Yeah,
program evaluation?
so I'll just kind of go generally through the process.
Okay.
The first step is just engaging stakeholders. And I mean, we've seen just the value in this. It's
Yes.
incredible, to where you
And
really.
also you get all that information, but you also start developing relationships, which is
Mhm, mhm.
huge,
Because so many times what we see happening is organizations will just come in and say, this is our new process. Here you go. Or this is how we're going to fix it. And not really getting the buy-in from the stakeholders. And so what we do is we make sure that we engage stakeholders with a set of questions about their organization, about their goals. And it's nice, I think, the several interviews we've had lately, they're like, it's nice having somebody who is outside,
Yeah.
like
Doesn't
they're a
have a
lot
horse in the
more, doesn't have a
race.
horse in the
That's my
race. Yeah. Where they feel more open to share information with us, because it's not their boss, or it's not
Yeah,
their
but
person supervising.
stakeholders can be bosses. Like, we've interviewed the
Yes.
bosses,
Yes.
we've interviewed therapists, we've interviewed administrative staff
Mhm,
as stakeholders,
mhm.
we've interviewed nurses and nutritionists,
Families.
families,
Families. Mhm.
anybody that could be potentially those that have something at stake. you know, in the process. So I think that that's been huge for us. Like, and I think it's the one that we've seen when we've worked with other consultants too, because you and I have done that as well, is that the agencies that we've gone to for help for something like a program evaluation of what we do, if they didn't take the time to listen to us, we didn't see any value in the service. You know,
so it didn't meet our needs, or it wasn't.
You can't skip this step. You have to listen to the people, you know, to the stakeholders. And it's a little pocket. It's not every single person on your staff. It's like you have to pick this group, because it would last forever if we interviewed everybody. And then we survey in other ways those stakeholders as well. So what's the next step?
So we engage stakeholders, and then once we do that, we create, we describe the program through like a logic model. So a logic model kind of shows, okay, what are the inputs? What are the activities that we need to do? What are the short-term, the long-term goals? So it might be, we have therapists, we have billing staff, activities might be, we're going to create a process for the referral system, whatever it might be. Short term is we want to reduce the waiting list by 25%. Long term is we want to reduce the waiting list by 50%, or whatever it might be. So we create a logic model, and then we evaluate, we look at how we're going to evaluate if what we're doing is working. So we gather then credible evidence, any kind of resources that we can find. We justify conclusion, and then we make sure that our evaluation results are useful and that everybody understands them. So it's kind of just this process. It's really interesting because I think that's what's been harder for us, is like, it is a dynamic process. It kind of like morphs as we go through it. It's not like we can say, okay, we're gonna do this month, this month. It really changes based on what that need is and what that information is from the stakeholders.
So just within the last 6 months, I can think of, we've engaged with 3 pretty large entities to do program evaluations. And like you said, they all have something simultaneous going on. They all follow the same process, but we get to different findings in them, you know, and it becomes a very individualized way to look at what are the problems, what are the goals, you know, what is the data we need to collect. And that's been just so fascinating to me to see that even though we can go through the same process, we can have completely different logic models come out of it, completely different ways of training a team.
I think about like some of the differences we've had. Like we've had anywhere from, we need a more refined process for referrals, all the way to, we need to find a better way to communicate and collaborate during a staffing meeting. You know, like every extreme that has come out of
like I remember with one of the questions we asked with the stakeholders is like, what is your mission? And the person was like, I don't really know what our mission is. So then it became defining what the mission is of your organization. Because if you don't know that, you don't know what you're doing out there. You're just kind of spinning your wheels. So it's been so exciting. And like I said, you and I have learned just as much, if not more, probably than the people who engage with us in this. But it sets apart from just going to those canned seminars, you know, like, oh, I'm going to go. So, you know, we have a problem with wait lists. I'm going to go learn about processes over here from somebody who has no idea what I do and no idea what our organization's about and has never been a therapist and understands.
And those are great for like discrete skills. You know, like we include those workshops for discrete skills, but when it's really about making big changes happen within your organization, you know, within your department, anytime you want a change or you want to really evaluate your effectiveness, your efficiency, it can't come from a canned workshop. You know, the canned workshop might teach you how to, like ours, like how to document or how to, but this is really more about those institutional changes.
And that individualized approach.
Yes.
That we're going to look at that organization as not like you're like everybody else because you provide OT, PT, and speech. You're different because you are, you know, ABC Center, you know? So I think that's been really good. And what I'm looking forward to is this is just part 1 of talking about program evaluations. We're going to do part 2, and I'm going to interview one of our recent just entities that we've worked with in doing a program evaluation, and just talk to her, because now it's been about 6 months since we concluded
Yeah.
the actual process. So we're kind of reflecting on the process and looking at, did we make meaningful change, and do we need anything more out of this? So I look forward, and I hope that everybody stays tuned and watches the next segment to see, how does that really feel from the person who bought in and has gone through this process with us.
And if you are out there listening and you want to know if this would be helpful for you, just give us a shout, send us an email, and we can set up a free initial consult and just to see if this is something that would benefit your organization. So we would love to just meet with you.
Yeah. All
Awesome.
right. Well,
Okay.
I'll talk to you later, Tara.
Okay.
Have a good
Thanks.
vacation.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.